I think it's important to remember, Ben, that the President's policy in Afghanistan, which was announced after a very careful and thorough review of a war there that had, under the previous administration, begun to drift, that lacked a coherent set of priorities and goals, has been to focus on our number one priority, which is to disrupt, dismantle, and defeat al-Qaeda. And in service of that objective, to help stabilize Afghanistan to the point where Afghan security forces can begin to take over responsibility for the safety and security of that country. Because, after all, there is one reason why U.S. forces were sent to Afghanistan, and that is because the United States was attacked on September 11, 2001, in a plot that was hatched in Afghanistan by al-Qaeda leaders. That remains his objective, and that has not changed. And it is important to remember that as part of that strategy, the President has been, and ISAF forces have been, drawing down already. After the surge in forces have been drawing down, as announced previously. And that will continue. As will be discussed in Chicago when NATO ministers meet and NATO heads of state meet, that process will continue so that, in accordance with NATO policy set in Lisbon, the Afghans will take over control for the security of their country by the end of 2014. The pace of that withdrawal will depend on a variety of factors that will certainly be discussed in Chicago at the NATO meeting and will be discussed running up to Chicago and in the aftermath of Chicago. And it will be determined by a variety of factors related to the situation on the ground. But it is important in the aftermath of this terrible and tragic incident to remember why we are there and what our objectives are in terms of the United States national security.